Venmo Bald-Sicilian, FBS. I am very grateful for Fat Bald-Sicilian. I'll tell you why. FBS created more channels than Comcast. Okay, FBS endorsed a lot of channels. He created a lot of channels, and I bet he can't count how many channels that he has helped to get monetized, and I'm one of them.
You know, and then it's not like you have no violence on your record until you're 30, and then one night you just decide to go out and kill a cop. It doesn't happen like that.
Fabricio was always a tough kid. He was a tough kid. He had a nice punch. If you hit you, he would knock you the fuck out.
I already had the position. I don't want to say boss, but that's what I was. I had the position. I was made directly with New York, and I didn't have to answer to nobody in my area.
I didn't watch the show, so I didn't really understand the magnitude, or how big this moment was.
But you know what? When De Niro asked him to let the old lady stay, and she has to stay with the dog. Well, God, I've never started, huh? You know that scene? And he was like, it's nuts.
Anytime I got to shoot at John's restaurant on East 12th Street, which was like a big mob hangout where like Joe the Boss Masseria would like hold court, and I got to work with Ivo Nandi, who played Joe the Boss. Those were some of my favorite scenes.
And the moment you walk in, I could recognize who's at the bar, who's sitting at the table, FBI. And this is the first time that I meet Sonny Franchese.
Matter of fact, outside the Bada Bing, Satin Dolls, we put a curtain in the parking lot. Everyone was wondering, why is that big curtain in the parking lot? We were rehearsing the hanging scene.
I'm living proof, guys. I'm living proof. I mean, no, I'm no millionaire or nothing, but listen, look at my life 4 years ago. I was in a fucking hotel. I was selling crack. I was snorting coke. I was drinking myself to fucking death. I was literally taking bags full of Ativan just because I wanted to die in my sleep. I was all alone, and now I'm here. I have my family. I have a little bit of money in the bank. I got everything I want. And I got you guys in this channel. So if I can do it, any of you can do it. Gizzo, I got struck. No, I didn't. I heard there's all types of controversy about me getting struck. Or at least, bullshit rumors. I was out and I got a text from, might have been Kaz. Said, did you get struck? I said, no, why? Tony Pizza saying you got struck. I didn't get a chance to respond to Kaz, but my response should have been, and probably will be later, well, if you heard Tony Pizza say it, you should know it's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's Tony Pizza. Everything he says is bullshit. I didn't get struck. If I got struck, I wouldn't be live right now because I got a warning already because of Lilo Brancato talking about the C word. I got a warning. And that warning, they call it a warning, but it really counts as a first strike. And it made it very clear to me when I got notified that if I get another one, it's a week suspension. And then after that, it's like 30 days. And then I think they take my channel down completely. So I hate to burst everybody's bubble. I did not get struck in any way, shape, or form. Let me see here. Sarcastic satire. If you're new, welcome. Sally, Paul Atkinson. Hold on. The OFBS and chat haven't been around lately. Wife's been in hospital for 2 weeks with a bad staph infection. Oh, shit, Paul. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. No, man, don't worry about not being here, man. Take care of your wife. That's terrible. D. Gainey, he was having another Just Say Shit show while trying to not let that lasagna kick his ass. I didn't know what you meant in Jesse's chat, D. Gainey. I'm like, but you obviously assumed that I saw it. I didn't see it. I don't watch Tony Pizza. No, like I said, Kaz, I think, was the first one. Then I got like 3 people talking about asking me if I got struck. I ended the show because I wasn't making any money. I put it on private because I wasn't making any money. I do that from time to time. I get very frustrated, and I look at it this way. If I come on and do a show and I'm taking time out of my day and I don't make any money, then why keep it fucking public so everybody else can watch it for free too? It pisses me off. It's like if you shoplift from a store I own and I catch you, but I say, you know what, keep it anyway. No, I want my product back. Simple as that. Carter Lee, hello. If you're new, welcome. Midwest Mafia Productions. What's up, FBS and chat? Been checking out this crazy shit with Dan Schneider and Nickelodeon, only in Hollywood, California. Very sick stuff. Midwest Mafia Productions. Very, very sick. Edward Everett. John DeLong. Ronan 456. Bobby Berberian. Why do I feel like I just shouted out Jesse Roth? Maybe because I just said her name. Jason B, hello. Jason B asked in Jesse's chat if I got struck. So instead of, explaining, I just dropped the link and I put it on unlisted for a minute so people could go see that the video is still there. Beverly the Nice One Martin. Hi, everyone. All right. Have a good night. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't care about the eclipse. I just don't care. Does anybody care about the eclipse? Or does everybody? And I'm the odd man out. Met Abraham. What's up, bro? I hope I pronounce your name right when I say it. Butterfly Kisses. Chris Moe. Andrea Middleton. Ranger Fan 11. Argo. Sally, $5. Thank you very much, Sally. I appreciate you. OC, you. Hey now. Danny Green, what's good? Look at all the people. 140, not bad. Brooklyn, good to see you. Did I miss anybody? OC, I got you earlier, right? I'm not sure. I might have skipped a few names. If so, I'm sorry. War, salute, my friend. Stevie the Gypsy, hello. Albert the Truth-Telling Alligator. Osmond. Couple of new names. If you're new, Osmond, welcome. It looks like you're, let me see. Sure is Gainey. What does that mean? D Gainey? What is not sure. Anyway, I fucking hate eclipses. Yeah, I'm just never I don't care. Like, so fucking what? It's an eclipse. Big deal. But I know some people, I guess, enjoy it. Seen one, you've seen them all. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure it's very, very difficult for you, bro. Everybody's got to get that shit wrong. But at least I try. Don't care about the eclipse. I'll be out there working, though. Yeah, me neither. I never got the excitement of, about it. I don't get it. Thank you, Jesse Roth. Brooklyn, oh my God, I'm right on Lake Erie and people are flooding my area. I'm over the eclipse already. Really? Oh, that sucks. My area. Danny Green, $20. Fuck that eclipse match. Thank you, Danny Green. Did I already read that? Why do I feel like I already read that? I don't know, but Danny Green is one of the biggest sponsors of the show. So when he says match, please do so. Got to make some money on this show, or it's going to be a really fucking short one. We can talk about whatever you want, guys. I listen to more of the Angel MRE thing. I didn't. Yeah, I know, Jesse. What a day. I didn't hear much more that I want to talk about. It's pretty much the same thing over and over and over again. I pretty much addressed it earlier, all of it, but I will address it again if you'd like. I just think it's beating a dead fucking horse now, you know. And I know Kasparov. I don't blame him for what he's doing. He's like a dog with a bone, and he'll probably never stop. But I understand because it's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating. Like I've been here many, many times when you have all the proof in the world that something happened or that somebody is something, you know, and there's just people who are willfully ignorant or in denial or whatever it is, and they're trying to make you seem like the crazy one. It is quite aggravating. Quite aggravating. So I understand why he keeps going with it, but it's not him that bothers me. It's the people who play ignorant or are, you know, just in denial. That's aggravating. You know, it's frustrating because they know the truth. You know, it's like it's got a Hitler tattoo on his arm. You know, not to mention all the language we've heard from him. Pizza's starting with the threats again. He posted a picture of SoFlo's wife along with the law firm she worked at. Law firm she works at's name, and he said he's going to post other people's workplace. I don't know what's going on with him. You know, I think he's got a death wish. I think he doesn't understand the seriousness, or he thinks he's like untouchable, like nobody will ever come see him. I mean, everybody knows where he is all the time. Like, I don't know at the moment, but I could find out. How much you want to bet that somebody will text me within the next 5 minutes and tell me where Tony Pizza is? And he'll be 100% accurate. How much you want to bet? People have been tracking Tony for a very long time, years even. And listen, I'm not coming to get any fucking buddy. I'm not going to jail. But you know, when you're fucking with SoFlo, yeah, he'll put up with a lot, but eventually everybody hits their breaking point. And if you push him to that, you know, and I mean, Tony Pizza isn't anybody else. You know, he can't defend himself. He's a weakling. He's a sicko. He's a fucking, and when I say sicko, I probably shouldn't have even said it that way. He's sick mentally and physically. Sicko, you know, implies mental illness generally, but he's sick in general. He's got to be in the worst condition of health that a otherwise healthy person could be in, meaning he doesn't have cancer as far as we know, or you know, we're not sure about the AIDS, but you know, if he doesn't have any real serious terminal illnesses, you know, even without that, he's in a terrible condition of health. You know, you got to be one of the most unhealthy people I've ever come across, and I'm a very unhealthy person. So he doesn't have it in him to fight. You know what I'm saying? And even if he did, I don't believe he would be good at it, especially against SoFlo. You know, SoFlo, people underestimate SoFlo. Now, when I was beefing with him, ask anybody in this chat if you're new, even when I would say the craziest shit about SoFlo and he was saying terrible shit about me, one thing I always said is this is a very dangerous individual. A very dangerous individual. Okay? If you haven't seen his record, just ask somebody who has. It's not like my record or anybody else's on here. And that never leaves somebody. That never leaves somebody. SoFlo is the type of guy that you get in a fight with him and he'll take your fucking eye out or rip your throat out or some crazy, insane shit. He's a big dude. He's very capable. He's physically fit and he's insane. So you never know. You never know. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to push anybody when it comes to their family because anybody could snap. I mean, I told you, I'm not somebody that will go track you down because I don't want to go to jail. But a couple of times I almost did with Tony Pizza, and Shanna cried and begged me not to and hung on to me as I was trying to rush out the door. And it's not that I couldn't get to that point either. I just certainly hope I never do, because with what he's done to me or somebody like SoFlo, when one of us gets our hands on him, it's not going to be a broken nose and a fat lip. You know what I mean? That's what I'm afraid of. There was a time, should I say this? There was a time a few of us had a plan. We knew where he was, and we were going to go see him. And we pretty much said, no, fuck it. Because of the simple fact that one of us might have killed him. You know, just the anger built up inside. So, you know, you always got to remember, if you're me or SoFlo or Chicago or any of you guys, we have stuff to lose in life. You know, if I'm sitting in a jail cell tomorrow, there's a lot I have to miss. My wife, my daughter, my stepkids, my mother, my home, my car, my clothes, my sneakers, my money, my jewelry, all that good shit. You know, if Tony Pizza ends up in a jail cell tomorrow, it's an improvement. Not like he'll do anything to go to jail. He's a coward, but, you know, let's just say if he ends up in critical condition, he'll be in pain and stuff, but even a hospital is a better living conditions for him than what he's used to. So, you know, it's almost pointless. Plus, you just got to hope that before you have to do anything to risk your own ass or your freedom or safety or anything else, that maybe karma gives him a good old kick in the ass. Maybe karma strikes him down with, I don't know, a horrible form of cancer or the AIDS or whatever it may be. Maybe he gets hit by a tractor fucking trailer. You never know. You never know. These things have a way of happening. Of course, they usually happen to good people, not evil people, but every now and then an evil one sneaks in, you know, every now and then. It's running 4, 5, 6. Joe Bag of Donuts. Even this Marky Mark kept saying there wasn't any evidence MRE is a rat and a chomo. Well, Marky Mark is not paying attention, you know. That's all. I mean, God, I can't believe I'm about to say it again. If you have a gun case that disappears, and the only reason the state dropped the charges is because the feds picked it up, and that Fed case vanishes, just like the state case, there's only one answer, okay? Because let me tell you something. If there was another answer, we would have found it. Kasparov's had a point on Angel's show this morning. If it was because he bought the guns legally, we would have some paperwork that says that. That's nowhere in the court case. Nowhere. It's not mentioned anywhere in the court case. So, you know, and as for the Chomo thing, do we know for a fact he did something? No. No, I'll be the first to say. But I don't know anybody who has a restraining order instructing him to keep distance, I don't know what the exact, I don't know if there's an exact distance, if it's no contact, if it's, you know, just you can't be anywhere near the person anytime. I don't know. But I don't know anybody who has a restraining order instructing them to stay away from a 3-year-old child because you have sexually abused this child in the past. I don't know anybody in the world who has that. Nobody. And I'll tell you why. I don't know anybody who ever sexually abused a 3-year-old. You know? So Tony Ducks. That's not true. Marky Mark called him a rat. Oh, okay. There you go. Joey Dimes, if I didn't already shout it out, thank you for the $5 earlier. He said he sent $5 for small start. Thank you. Hopefully some donations will come rolling in because guys, you already know. I don't want to keep repeating myself. Let me see here. You would think the tax man would be looking into pizza. No way he's paying his YouTube taxes. Maybe they don't give a fuck, at least about him, because, Ridge, $10. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. Even if they were to catch him, what are they going to do? When that happens, the IRS will seize assets. They'll garner wages. Garnish wages. I was like, wait a second, what? They'll garnish wages. They'll do shit like that. What are they going to do to recoup their money from Tony Pizza? I mean, yeah, they like putting people in jail also, but, it's pretty much all you're going to get out of him. You're going to get to put him in jail for a while. Marky Mark Tour MRE, a new one that was hilarious. I still got to go back and listen to that. That show was so fucking ridiculous. So ridiculous. 10-hour fucking show, 6 a.m. Are you fucking kidding me? I stay up late, but I'm in bed. I'm in bed. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling. I'm fucking around on my phone. I'm thinking, whatever. I'm in bed. I'm not on YouTube. You guys remember when all those dudes used to come on, like, who? We used to have a bunch of people on it at once, every night for a while. I would leave the show it was either midnight or 1 a.m. was my cutoff. I would leave the show and I would just let them do the show. And I'd go eat and lay on my couch and chill. And around 3 a.m. or so, I'd say, all right, guys, and I'd end it. Fuck all that crazy shit. Joe Bag of Donuts, $5. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. FBS, the question of the day is, are you mad at me for buying Pizza new wheels for his wagon? LOL. Matter of fact, Jesse, I am. Unless, like, if, say you installed the wheels and you made one of them loose, so then when he's riding down a hill in it, then it would be perfectly acceptable. You'd actually be doing us a favor. If you know someone accused of juvenile sex crimes but charges been dropped for federal involvement, you got a snake in the grass. Well, I think you're confused, Richard Nixon. Charges were not dropped due to federal involvement of sex charges. They were dropped due to federal involvement, in a gun case. You know what I mean? But again, I'll say it again. There would be proof of that. Oh, he bought the guns legally. There's a box, for fuck's sake. We've shown it a million times. There's a box. Do I still have it up here? On his paperwork that says why the state dropped the charges. In other words, I think I took it down. In this box, that's where the reasons, any reasons for the state dropping the charges, they would be in that box. Okay, that's the area on the paperwork. Nowhere else. Okay, it even says above it, it says something specific, I forget, but in that box, there's only one thing, and it says the state is dropping all charges due to federal involvement. Not, because he bought the guns legally. Oh, it was a mistake on the state's part or the government's part. Oh, we accidentally lost his felony, and then we found it years later. I remember something. He's still changing the story because he said they couldn't find his felony. He just said this last night, and then when they found it, they came and took his guns. No. The original story from him was that an ex-girlfriend saw him with his guns on Facebook and called the police. Now, if MRE thought these guns are legal, you know what I'm saying? If he, if that was the case, I'm sure he would have told his girlfriend at some point, right? Like if he had like he says, they lost the felony, so he thought he wasn't a felon anymore, or at least the fact that they sold them to him legally makes him think, or made him think, that he was okay owning them. It was legal for him to own them. Well, how come as soon as his girlfriend saw him with guns, she called the cops on him, or his ex-girlfriend. Why is that? Why would you call the cops on a guy who could legally own guns? There's nothing illegal about owning guns if you're, legally capable and allowed. If you're not a felon, you don't have mental illness in your background, which he has. It's not just a felon, by the way. You guys know that, right? You guys know that. If you lie about having a drug problem, a mental illness, anything on a gun application, they will lock you to fuck up. And if you tell the truth about it, you just won't get a gun. Okay? Just like having a felony. So, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. But and Kasparov, can talk about it more in the future, and anybody else who wants to. But I mean, who even cares at this point? I mean, it's obvious he's a rat, and that's it. There doesn't need to be any more proof. There's already an overwhelming amount of proof, especially when you add his other case too, where he got caught with, according to Kasparov's, 6 guns. He actually opened the door with a shotgun in his hand, and the police were on the other side of the door. You're going to jail if you're a felon. You're going to jail. These types of charges don't disappear. And over and over again, the stupidest thing I've ever heard, other than Joey Molino saying that if you don't gamble, there's something wrong with you, is MRE saying that, oh, fuck, I just lost it when I threw the Joey thing in there. That they lost this felony. That's not a thing. They don't lose. What the fuck? What do you think? What is this, like the 1800s, and they had it written on a piece of paper and they misplaced it under a desk or some shit? They put it in the wrong drawer. There's fucking computers. You know what I mean? There's a database. They lost his felony. Yeah, okay. I wish they'd lose my felony. Both of them. But don't worry, I don't have high hopes because I'm smart enough to know that's not a thing. There's a picture of him holding the victim in question. There's a picture of him holding the victim in question inappropriately. How do you know that, Richard Nixon? Thank you, Danny Green. No, I'm not. I'm high maintenance. I'm very high maintenance. Stephen Cordell, $10. Thank you, bro. Who's going to drop 100 on me? Sven Larson, DKK 89, some Schadols. Thank you. That's, I believe, 13.17 in US dollars. Thank you very much. My fucking shoulder's killing me. I don't know why. Met Abraham. Who does a 10-hour show? Too much time on her hands. Guys, I'm telling you right now, in order for me to do a 10-hour show, I better make, Jesus fuck, honestly, minimum $1,500. I'm not kidding. And I only raise it that high because I've done hour-long shows and made $1,200, So that's not really a thing anymore. But no, I'd probably do a 10-hour show for a G, $100 an hour. That's the minimum. That's the minimum. But Angel, man. And then MRE has the balls to say, while they're doing a 10-hour show, these people have no lives. How do they have time to be on here all day? You're on a 10-hour live stream, so you should be asking Angel that. Not only that, MRE, but nobody spends more time on the internet than you. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, every picture we have of you, you're either at home or at home on the internet. I mean, we had a video of you that Bobby Luisi put up where you were fucking getting all, sassy and shit about fucking 90s male pop singers. I mean, in a what looked like a fucking church. She was on for almost 12 hours and she sounded wide awake more and more, even at 8 a.m. Very wired. LOL, just say it makes me wonder a little bit. Yeah, that's bizarre. That is. Not only was he investigated for juvenile crimes, the gun charges dropped. Yes. You lost me a girlfriend, Rory. I hear you. Well, you know, he's not going to say boyfriend live on his show, but you know, we all know. FBS, I knew a guy who accidentally wrote the wrong county on his gun permit application, and they hauled him away. I knew many. I knew my friend Nate's brother Corey went into like Bass Pro Shops or something. He filled out a gun application, and he said he had never been convicted of a felony, but it was something that he had gotten. And now at this point, he was like 45, 46 years old. And the felony was from like right after he turned 18. And it was like I forget what the fuck it was. It might've been domestics. I forget, you know, a domestic assault, something. I forget. According to him, he went through life not knowing that was a felony. I don't know if that's true or not, whatever. Maybe he just wanted to see if he'd get away with it. That's, you know, more than likely the case. And, you know, he got a knock on his. Oh, no. In his case, they told him to wait, which they'll always do at a background check. So you never even get suspicious, really, because they're always going to make you wait. It takes a little bit of time. And the 2 U.S. Marshals showed up, and they took him away. There was another guy I worked with in 2000 at a restaurant called Pargo's in York. I was on work release, actually. This guy was like maybe a 50-year-old, you know, straight-laced, square. Family man, wife, kids, every fucking thing. He, I think it was either a year or two before, he lied about a misdemeanor conviction. And it took them, I think it was about 6 months or something until they actually caught it and showed up. And they gave him a year in the county. Well, within that year, he lost everything. And his wife left him and took the kids and, you know, lost his home, everything. Then there was a girl, very young girl, about 22, that I was working with at a restaurant years and years and years ago. And she, same thing. She had some bullshit misdemeanor from like slapping her boyfriend or some fucking thing. And she forgot about it. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. It was some bullshit thing she forgot about. I forget how long it took with her, but they wound up coming to get her too. And, you know, I lost touch with her before I ever found out what she got, but she said they were threatening her with like 6 months to a year in the county, something like that. Yeah, it's no joke. I won't even walk into a gun shop. No, I ain't even going near one. Fuck around and catch me on camera and say I was there trying to do some, you know, illegal shit, buy a gun or something. No. Nope. I wouldn't even take the chance of being asked for ID or something when I'm in there. No gun shop. I'm not going nowhere. Nowhere like that. But people, I think they want to see. They just want to. A lot of people can't accept the fact that they lost their Second Amendment right over bullshit, which is what most people lose their Second Amendment right for in this country, over bullshit. So they try anyway, and they think they'll get away with it. You're not going to get away with that. And I'm telling you, gun charges are so serious if you're a felon. So fucking serious. And again, it's open and shut. It's like a DUI. DUIs, very rarely can you fight a DUI unless you got stopped for some bullshit. There was no real traffic violation there. They had no right to pull you over in the first place, something like that, which is going to be hard to prove. All they got to do is say you crossed over the white line or the yellow line or the double yellow lines, or you know what I mean? You swerved and they got probable cause to stop you. If you have the alcohol in your blood, you're drunk, or at least according to the ridiculous legal limit. 0.08 or whatever it is. So it's just like that. You get caught with a gun. You got caught with a gun. How do you fight it? No, I didn't get caught with a gun, but yes, you did. We caught you with it. We have pictures of you holding a gun. And then we ran up in your crib and found the gun you were holding in the picture. It's your gun. There's no way to fight a case like that except an illegal search and seizure of some sort. And if you ever notice, MRE never says it was an illegal search and seizure. Let me tell you why. Because he's not bright, but he does know this. If it was an illegal search and seizure, wait, let me think. How did the case go? They still would have had to keep the guns. The charges would have been thrown out at preliminary. But I just thought about something. I was going to say that the drug charges and the other stuff wouldn't have stuck, but they didn't stick. I forgot. But it's not due to illegal search and seizure. He would have said that, though, if it was. And again, we'd be able to find it. But think about it. If it wasn't an illegal search and seizure, first of all, if they raided you because you had guns, and it turned out that there was nothing wrong with you having guns because they were sold to you legally and they were going to drop the case, okay? The whole thing would be thrown out for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Like if they like in his case, they saw a girl reported him for having pictures of guns on Facebook, whatever. Okay. The whole thing would have been thrown out almost immediately for illegal search and seizure. Or in Kasparov's clip of that court hearing, we would have heard that was the reason. Or in that box on that paperwork, it would have said illegal search and seizure. Okay. It didn't. So it was a legal search and seizure. So tell me this, riddle me this, Batman. If it was a legal search and seizure, which we know it was, why didn't they charge him with the drugs and the other various weapons and body armor? Why did that get thrown out too? If it was just the guns that you bought legally, okay, they'll throw out the guns. But you can't buy drugs legally. You can't, just the possession of them in some cases, if it's a street drug, just possession is illegal. If it's some sort of pharmaceutical, then if you don't have a prescription, it's illegal. And he didn't have a prescription for those pills. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been on the evidence list. Okay. And it was a charge. He got charged with the narcotics. He got charged, I believe, with all the various weapons and the bulletproof vest. I believe. I don't remember exactly with the bulletproof vest, but he would have. You can't own body armor as a felon. I don't give a fuck what state you're in. You can't. Okay? And it's against federal law. He had a bulletproof vest. He had an assortment of knives and hatchets and all types of other shit. A lot of those can be legal, but he had other charges than just the gun. So if it was a legal search and seizure, why did they charge him with the other stuff and not just throw out the guns? Or I keep fucking this up. No, there you go. If it was a legal search and seizure, why didn't the charges stick for the other things, the things that are illegal, even if somehow a miracle happened and he had those guns legally? You see what I'm saying? Why did the whole thing get fucking thrown out? Why? There's only one reason. You see what I'm saying? If they raided that house under false pretenses, it's an illegal search and seizure. That's it. And the false pretenses would be that you're saying that these guns are illegal, but no, they're actually legal. And that's what MRE is saying, because he said that the fucking charges were dropped because they were legal, because he was allowed to buy them and the police department approved it and everything else. No. And there's no mention of an illegal search and seizure or anything else in the entire fucking case. I don't even know how I got to this point in this conversation, but you know what I'm saying. There's just too many things if you put it all together. Let me see. He's a rat. No way those cases disappear. No fucking way. And Muzz, you don't lose a felony. Nobody loses a felony, unfortunately. No, I didn't see it, Richard. I'm not sure I want to. Did you see it, Jesse? Mo, MRE. MRE should be able to show why the charges were dismissed. Until then, everyone should assume he's a cooperator. Yes, definitely. The courts don't misplace felony convictions. No. Time for a little toot. FBS, says Toady Pizza. If you're talking about the type of toot I know you're talking about, it wouldn't be spelled that way, you stupid motherfucker. And really, you want to talk? Full-blown junkie? We could hear you on your fucking lives when you walk away from the camera snorting fucking cocaine or meth or whatever it is. You make thousands of dollars disappear in the blink of an eye. Yeah, out of the two of us, I'm the one getting high. What is this? Thank you for oh yeah, no problem, Jeff, earlier. What some forgot is they were acting on a tip, therefore they what some forgot is they were acting on a tip, therefore they saw photos, saw his rhetoric, and obviously did a background check. They wouldn't waste resources on some good maybe guns on FB for no reason. Also remember he lied from day one. I never done drugs, never been arrested. Good point. Good point. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Pizza's obsessed with FBS. I noticed he can't do a show without streaming FBS. No, he can't. He's been obsessed with me for a long time. But I mean, if you were Pizza, wouldn't you be obsessed with me? I mean, in a jealous way. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the total and complete antithesis. Is that the right word? I think. Of Tony Pizza. The complete and total opposite. I don't even eat pizza anymore. Team FBS. I don't blame you. Just tuning in, MRE had 3 separate items felons cannot possess: firearms, drugs, body armor. A feline, I think you mean a felon, cannot be in possession of one. He had all 3. Oh, yeah, and there's enhancements. You ask any drug dealer, they'll tell you one rule: never keep drugs and guns in the same fucking place. There's all types of enhancements they could throw at you. So the chances of a case like that being thrown out, because I'll say something I've said a million times before because I didn't get to this earlier. Let's just say they sold you the guns legally. Let's just say they sold MRE the guns legally, and it was their fault. MRE knew he had a felony on his record. Oh, okay, Jesse. He knew he wasn't supposed to own those guns. He could act like, let me tell you something. You know that guy Kasparoza was talking about that MRE ratted out? I believe that guy was caught buying illegal firearms. Okay? And he's somebody MRE was friends with. When MRE says, who would I have ratted on? I had no co-defendants. Again, Kasparoza made some good points about people who testified against her brother, people he didn't commit crimes with and weren't his co-defendants. It's true. I told you, I got both DUIs I got, they asked me if I wanted to cooperate against drug dealers. Both DUIs. And my lawyer called me one day and said, listen, I got to offer this to you. When I said no, he said, I'm glad, because I don't like representing people who cooperate. Okay. But they offer you, even for that, they'll let you out of rape, murder, any fucking thing if you could just get them a drug dealer or two. That's all they really care about because there's money in it for them. Okay. So sorry, you know me, I lose my train of thought from time to time. So you don't have to have a co-defendant. You don't have to. It's the stupidest argument I ever heard. Who were my co-defendants? What does it matter? Who did I rat on? It could be anybody. Oh, but I walked through my neighborhood. You wouldn't rat on somebody from your neighborhood, obviously, because you plan on living there forever. The dickhead said, why didn't I tell on Rudolph Sciarra? How many times have we heard mob guys who flipped say that I won't tell on this one? I won't tell on that one. I won't tell on my friends, but I'll give information on everybody else. Have we not heard that a million fucking times? Who was it? Was it Scars or no? Because he testified against John Jr. Who was it that testified? Sammy. He testified against John Gotti. He says he refused to testify against his son, John Jr. Of course. What do you think? They say, no, it's all or nothing. They just need information. They needed to give people up. So that dumb argument, who would I have told on? How can I walk around in my neighborhood? Anybody. And they gave him his computer back. So if he was, talking to these guys and shit over the internet, which of course he was, none of them really live near each other. They're all across the country, spread out. You're talking to him over the computer. And maybe you guys all bought guns from the same fucking place. And you knew he was about to go buy a bunch and you set him up. Whatever the case may have been. Never fall for that shit. Never fall for that. I didn't have any co-defendants. This is TV shit. What, you can't rat on somebody unless you're charged right alongside of them? No. Unless you're in the same case together, co-defendants? No. What do you mean? There was a dude in York with such a fucking big rat. I told you guys about him. He got a 35-year sentence, got it cut in half, got out, and then started setting people up next time he got caught. And this motherfucker, he went out of his way to spare the people he was closest to. And he set up, because it was the feds, he set up people from other states. He set up people from Baltimore, all over the fucking place. Baltimore's, of course, in another state. I'm just using that. There's one person I know of for sure that was in Baltimore. He was setting people up from New York. He was setting people up from every fucking where because he had major fucking connects. So all his friends, he didn't tell on a single one of them. His local friends, nope. You don't have to. You know what I mean? Unless it's a case where they want a specific person. And if you don't give them that person, but that's rare. That's rare. They'll take whatever you give them. So it's just absurd, man. It's such a dumb conversation at this point. Rudolph Sciarra died less than 1 year after he was arrested on the gun case. So there's another good reason. But no, I don't think he would have given away, what was that, his uncle or something? Of course not. Or given up. I'm not giving away. Given up his uncle? No. Why would he have to? They caught him with white supremacist shit with a whole fuckload of guns and weapons and body armor and drugs. They want those people. Where'd you get the guns? Because he didn't buy the guns legally, guys. If you believe that, you're a fucking moron. He didn't buy the guns legally. They don't sell guns to felons, period. But who lost the felony? Everybody? He says they had to call the police department. That's not it. They got to have a fucking ATF background check. The feds have to know. You have to fucking pass a background check, state and federal. The fuck out of here. Everybody lost the felony? So fucking dumb. He didn't buy the guns legally. That's a bullshit story. Him and his neo-Nazi friends probably had either one connect or multiple connects who they would all go to so they could buy their guns and then pose with them in pictures. You know what I'm saying? MRE also stated the police returned his body armor to him. No felon can be in possession of body armor. What cop would lose his career giving a convicted felon his body armor back? Yeah, it's bullshit, Nico said. And I don't know if he said recently that they gave it back to him, but his original story was they tried to give it back to him and he didn't want it because it was all tore up and shit. There's no way they're giving you your fucking bulletproof vest back when you're a fucking felon. There's no, unless they think you're so stupid that you'll accept it, and then as soon as you walk outside the police station, they'll say you're under arrest for being a felon in possession of body armor. Get the fuck out of here. That's like my friend. He went by Yomo. Let's just say that. He was a Mexican dude. This fucking guy, he got busted one time. He would keep his heroin in like one of those little bullshit like Sentry, fireproof safes that you could buy at Walmart for like $30. He would keep it in there in a bunch of rice, and he'd keep it in his trunk. So he had his work on him at all times, but you know what you need the rice for and all that shit. And he had it in there because technically, if there's, at least the way it used to be, say they could search your car, say they have probable cause. If there's a locked container, like a safe within that car, they need a separate search warrant. They can't just search that. They can't. Well, in his case, they did. And it got thrown out. And they told him to pick up his belongings that were confiscated by the police. So he went to the police station. They gave him like some of his money back, some other shit. And they gave him the safe. And he opened it up and it had all the rice in there, but none of the dope. And he looked at the detective and said, "Can I get my dope back?" And they kicked him right the fuck out of the police station. It was funny. But yeah, just like he couldn't have his dope back, MRE couldn't get his vest back. When you're a felon, the onus is on you to possess no firearms. That they sold them to me means nothing. He knew he was a felon. Closed case. Closed case. You know what? They'll charge you just for knowing you're a felon and trying to buy the guns. So why wouldn't they charge you with owning them? If I go get caught trying to purchase a firearm, I'm going to be charged, even if I don't get to purchase it, even if they bust me in the process, I'm going to be charged with being a felon, or I don't know. I don't know what the charge is. Attempting to purchase firearm as a convicted felon, something like that. I'd be charged with that just for trying to buy it. Now, my excuse, I didn't know I was a felon. Yeah, they're going to laugh in my fucking face. So if MRE actually gets caught owning the guns, and again, he wasn't in some big house on the hill owning these guns. He was in basically a trap house, at least what it looked like. It looked like an old trap house. In a rundown, shitty neighborhood. And the inside of this filthy, fucking ridiculous scumbag house he lived in was filled with swastikas and all that Nazi shit. All that Nazi shit. And the white, supremacist, symbolism and all that bullshit. Oh, and by the way, if I hear the excuse from him one more time that he's not a white supremacist or a Nazi, all that stuff with Hitler, like dressed as Santa and all this crazy shit, that was just to troll people. Who trolls people like that? Let me tell you something. I am the guy that found like 11 of his Facebook profiles. I'm telling you, and I've proven this, I've shown them before. None of them had any followers, really. He was friends with maybe 15, 20 people. And it was the same people with each Facebook profile. And he would comment to himself. There was no engagement. Nobody was commenting on his pictures. Nobody was commenting on anything. He would comment like from the Nico IRA Facebook page to one of the Nicholas Colacone Facebook pages, or what's that one? Our Rhode Island Militia. I think he had a Facebook page. There was a bunch. And he would communicate. I knew a crazy bitch who did this shit. She had 2 different Facebook profiles. She used to live 2 blocks up that way. And this lunatic would Facebook herself back and forth. Like she would put the link to a song in a comment in her comment and say, "Oh my God, bitch, you're gonna love this." Oh my God, girl, wait till you hear this. Meanwhile, it's her that she's fucking sending it to. Okay? And that's what MRE was doing. So who's he trolling? Nobody trolls people. Oh, I'm going to get you by making you think I'm a white supremacist. What? What? I'm going to fucking do things that could possibly ruin my life forever and destroy any reputation I have just to troll you. Come on, we see what MRE does as a troll. He doesn't do shit to make you think he's a bad guy. He does shit to make you think he's a good guy. Like when he used to say all the time he would never talk about women. And I remember like Marla and Josie or something said something sexual on Angel's panel, and he acted all disgusted by it. And you know, I mean, he would act like this moral fucking troll. He didn't do shit to make you think he was a bad guy. He denied his association with NB. That's another thing. Hearing him bitch and moan. They called my family. You called Children's Services. You and your bitch friend NB. Are you kidding me? I don't agree with calling anybody's fucking family, but maybe that was your karma. That's not all you did. You worked with her to dox people and dox people's families and everything else. It's always good for the goose, but not for the gander. You know what I mean? They always got some ridiculous sob story when it happens to them, but they did it to people forever. Look what he did to all these people, Aaron Carter and Corey Feldman, and all this gay shit he did on the internet, stalking these fucking weirdos. You know what I mean? Trying to make people's lives miserable. Look what he did to Durkee. I'll never forget when we exposed him. And by the way, MRE said this morning that you weren't exposed. You went on camera yourself and showed your face. Do we forget that video another content creator put out exposing your ass? And then my show followed right after it. Exposing your ass, please. Talking about like nobody did it to him. He did it to himself. He went on and just showed everybody who he was. He was terrified of people finding out who he was. But now I lost my original train of thought. When we exposed him, it was like that night or the next night he called Durkee and he was kissing his ass because he knew the shit he put that fucking family through, he could get locked up for. So he called him and started apologizing to him. Why? What changed? That all of a sudden you're going to apologize. Only one thing changed. Now you could be identified. Yeah. So. No, he hasn't, Mo. It's just the same story that he bought the guns legally. Eats, sleeps, and FPS. Yeah. A felon knows they cannot possess firearms. It doesn't matter how they acquired them. No judge will care. No. I thought so, Sean, but sometimes I confuse myself. My memory's so fucking bad, I'm starting to forget words. No, Mo, certainly not. But he had 13 of his friends say he's a great guy, so all that other stuff doesn't matter. It's very true. 13 people. How can you argue with that? 13 lifelong friends vouch for you. They got to be telling the truth. Why would they lie? War. I tried to get my record expunged right before they enforced the Patriot Act. It was stopped because of it. Lots of legal baloney. Yeah, I know. Fucking bullshit, all of it. Joey Molino wouldn't share a cell with someone that hides their paperwork. No. And as far as, Rudy still being alive, I mean, if Rudy was still alive, MRE would be in prison for a very long time. Or he'd be, in the witness protection program some fucking where, because he wouldn't have probably became a rat if, but then again, I don't know, because it looks like he ratted in 2011 too. So who the fuck knows? If you get your record expunged, do you still need to report that when trying to get a gun permit? I don't know. I'm assuming that's something you learn when and if you get your record expunged. But again, Ridge, I just believe the whole record expungement thing is a big bunch of horse shit. I mean, if you got some bullshit, ridiculous charges like a first offense DUI, some petty theft, shoplifting, sure, you can get that expunged. But you ain't getting a felony expunged. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's not happening. And even with the laws changing about marijuana. Like PA, when they fully legalize marijuana, okay, it's already been made clear that it will not be as far as being retroactive, nobody who has a sale on their record is getting anything wiped off their record. You know what I mean? Just because now marijuana is legal. No, if you had simple possession and shit, yeah, they'll probably take that, you know, they'll get that right off your record for you. You know, but if you got a sale, a felony charge, it's not coming off. I wish life was that fucking easy. I've looked into every fucking thing. Yeah, Mo. But you know what? I don't even care about that part. Let him be a rat. Who gives a fuck? Didn't tell on me. All right, it's more the neo-Nazi shit because the only thing we have more proof of than him being a rat is him being a neo-Nazi. And I'm sorry, but being a neo-Nazi is way more despicable than being a rat. It just is. Disgusting. The government has thousands of confidential informants. At least thousands, if not tens of thousands. Oh my God, Jesse Roth. I saw it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I saw it all the fucking time. People do that shit to each other all the time. You know what I mean? And the majority of the people on the street who are really in the street life, at least with drug dealing, maybe not the majority, a good percentage of them are working with some, law enforcement entity. That's how they stay on the street as successful drug dealers. You know, they get that free pass. And yeah, like Jesse said, they'll use that pass, in order to feed information to whatever law enforcement agency it is. They'll go after their enemies, their competition. They'll set them up. But this stupid shit about who did I rat on? Oh my God, it's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It's amazing. I heard Angel say tonight, I would never condemn anyone without proof. You said I was a rat the second you found out I had a sealed case. And then later on, she has the balls to tell me that Dominic Crea, of all people, told her that there's nothing at all with that case proving that I cooperated. He even told her I wasn't a rat. And she kept saying it. This shit went on for 6 months to a year. Okay? I was a rat because I had a sealed fucking case. This shit went on forever. Yeah, you'll condemn anybody. You just won't condemn him. Absolutely. I don't know, man. Whatever. Whitey Bulger made a career from snitching on his enemies. Lucky Luciano ratted on a bunch of rivals in the heroin trade. There you go. MRE has stated a police officer returned his body armor. A police officer would risk their job, pension, etc. to give a felon back something they cannot possess federally. 100% bullshit. Yeah, 100% bullshit. Such a shady situation with MRE. All those allegations can't be wrong. I personally just gave up caring because I feel like he did cooperate, but he will never unseal those documents. No. I would be like, yeah, and I did it. Forget I would be like, you know what I did. But if I'm MREing, I never would be, but I'm having that fight with Casperosa. I say, you know what? Fuck it. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to fucking unseal this shit. Then we'll see what you have to say. But he can't. He can't. And by the way, Angel, a regular person, a non medical professional, you know what I mean? Somebody who is not in any way, shape, or form medical personnel can say whatever the fuck they want. HIPAA applies to medical professionals. It doesn't apply to individuals. I assure you of that. Why would it? Why would it? So, yeah, that she's like, you'll be getting in trouble. That's HIPAA. What is fucking Casperosa, a nurse or a doctor? Neither one. Don't worry. That too, Mo. That too. Why doesn't MRE show us then? Well, no. See, he'll say the gun owner or the guy who sold him the guns was in the clear too, because it was actually the police department and the state government and the federal government that were all to blame. It wasn't him or the gun salesman. He didn't buy those guns from a store. You see those pieces of shits. Why wouldn't you buy a fucking modern gun? That's the kind of garbage these fucking lunatics they get from some fucking asshole who, gets a hold of any gun he can and then sells it to these fucking dopes who can't buy one legally. That's garbage shit. He didn't buy those guns. Who would buy those guns from a fucking store? Are you kidding me? That's the type of shit you buy when you have to kill a motherfucker and you need a throwaway. You know what I mean? And even not so much that, because not many people are buying rifles. Oh yeah, Nico, see, he absolutely did. I swear to God, this dude was nuts, bro. This dude was by a bar called the Overbrook. He pissed in an alley. Okay, not an alley. In the parking lot, there was a dumpster, and he was pissing in the fucking dumpster. Not in the dumpster. Jesus fucking Christ. Pissing behind it. Whatever. Okay, he's behind it, beside it. He was taking a piss. So the cops pull up because they were always around that bar. They hated the owner. They knew a lot of drug dealers hung out there. And most importantly, they wanted to catch people leaving drunk, so they were always around. So he's taking a piss by the dumpster. The cops pull up and he runs and hops in his car. He starts driving off, and one of the cops jumped in front of his car. He tapped the cop, like the cop's leg or thigh or knee, something. Tapped it. And he took off. And man, when they found him, they locked him the fuck up and they charged him with every fucking type of crime, assault on a police officer, attempted murder on a police officer, all types of shit. This shit went on for like a year and a half. They just kept going to pretrial after pretrial. And they kept telling the judge, the prosecution and the cops kept telling the judge, we don't have the video footage yet. We need an extension so we can get the video footage. Well, they never showed up with the video footage. So they wound up dropping it to like some bullshit simple assault or something. And I think he got 90 days in the county, but he was nuts, man. That dude was crazy. I love that guy. Oh, of course, Nico Sia. Yeah. Brass knuckles. Yes, Chris. Thank you. That's another thing. All this shit is illegal. It's all separate charges. So if they raided your house, it was a legal search and seizure, but they found out the guns were legal, which is what he said, which doesn't really make sense because, again, if they raided the house and they found out the guns were legal, then it would all of a sudden be an illegal search and seizure. But that's not in the case, so we know it wasn't. If they raided the house and they found the guns, but then later found out that you were legally allowed to own them, they would still charge you with the drugs, the brass knuckles, some of the other weapons that are federally illegal for a felon to own, and the bulletproof vest and all that shit. That's it. The only way everything would get thrown out is if it was a full-blown illegal search and seizure, and that's nowhere to be found. Not even he has used that excuse. Why hasn't he, by the way? Why hasn't he said, well, the whole search was illegal because the guns were, I was allowed to own them. They were perfectly legal. What? He's just not that bright, I guess. I don't know. He just expects people to believe that the guns were legal. And because of that, the whole thing went, the feds came and picked it up. They told the state, we want you to drop the charges. We're picking up the case. And then they were like, after they got the case, the state dropped the charges. The feds were like, fuck it. We don't really have time for this. Let's just let it go. Nick, you're free. Get the fuck out of here. He just wants to build dioramas, FBS. Yeah, no shit. Something wrong with that guy. Any Nazi wannabe should be deported to Mexico. Okay, I never heard that before. Mexico. Okay, I mean, I guess it would be a good place if you want to see Nazis get slaughtered. It's a good idea. I don't think they like Nazis in Mexico. Nicosia connection. The politics of it alone, after the national media attention, MRE garnished. The DA would charge you with something, even if it was just jaywalking, but absolutely nothing, not even a lesser charge. Yeah, it's bullshit, man. Oh, yeah, Luisi did J.R. Boston without it. Not just Luisi. Yeah, Panisi, Luisi. Any other ECs? I don't know. Yeah, they both did. Panisi had a picture of him up holding this stupid fucking dog with his trench coat looking like, Eric Harris or Dylan Klebold, one of those two motherfuckers. Yeah. They knew who he was. And I know that certain people reached out to Luisi to find out. And Luisi said, oh, he played it up. He didn't want to be pressured. So he was like, I have no idea. I really don't know. I just got that video. Oh, you knew. Felons can have ratchets? Can't. No, can't. 13, he keeps saying that 2 were black also. I know. We talked about that on the earlier show, calling him black as the ace of spades and shit. He's a weird motherfucker, man. It's also overplayed. We know what MRE is. Yeah. 13 friends. Is he number 14? Very good, Jesse. You think that's why he brought 13 on? Yeah. Let me guess, when he put, when he showed a picture of his grandparents on Facebook and wrote 1488 above it, was that just, you were just trolling people too? The trolls usually put up pictures of their grandparents. No, MRE didn't put his pictures of his grandparents up on MobTube, right? When he was anonymous. Not even now that he's not anonymous. So why the fuck would he do it when he's trolling people? Guys, he's full of shit. There's a picture of, what's that guy's name? David Lane. He called him our leader. That's what it said above David Lane's picture, our leader. And please cut it out with the white nationalists aren't racist shit. Angel said the third dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life tonight. She said, there's a lot of white nationalists out there. Trump considers himself a white nationalist. White nationalists aren't racist. Well, if that's the point you're trying to prove, Trump is probably not the right guy to use. You know what I mean? It's like David Duke was a white nationalist. It doesn't mean he's racist. It doesn't mean a white nationalist is racist. What the fuck? Angel is so oblivious. Sometimes I think she's playing stupid. Other times it's like, no, she really is. She says, being a white nationalist doesn't mean you're racist. There are a lot of white nationalists out there. Trump is a white nationalist. Okay. Thank you for proving the point that white nationalists are racist. His excuse is, I was accused of something I didn't do. I would snap and flip. Oh, his excuse is, if I was accused of something I didn't do, I would snap and flip out. All he did was say, prove it. Yeah, guys, 187 fucking people, an hour and 30 minutes in. I'm sorry, an hour and 13 minutes in. Anybody feel like donating? Everybody go broke simultaneously? Big weekend? What happened? No, Ronin 456. Not normally. I'm not saying it never happens, but not typically. Your record never go anywhere if they want you. The feds will dig out anything they can. Of course. Strong arm tactics. I hate when MRE says, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. He doesn't take shit seriously. No, he doesn't. All right, Stefano Fabrizi. Oh, man. I hate clicking links. That's the picture, huh? Hmm. Yeah, it's not only is it inappropriate, but his face, like, oh my god, if there was a face you were to put to like, that's the face. In that picture, sheesh. Pizza's saying you were struck. I know, Tommy D'Angelo. I put a video on private, but you know what? Let Pizza have this one. Let him believe I was struck. You know what I mean? Why not? That's my charity for the day. It's my good deed for the day. Let Pizza revel in his belief that I got struck, the joy that comes from it. A while ago, Nico C had made a point about being the few exceptions. About the few exceptions of a felon being able to possess body armor. Yeah, there are a few exceptions. Like I think depending on the state, if you weren't convicted of a violent felony, you could have it in certain states, but it's still illegal federally. Okay, so it doesn't matter because the feds could swoop in and pick up a charge like that. You know what I mean? They just can. So it's still illegal. You still can't do it. If the state doesn't like you, if the local police, whatever, and they catch you with something like that, sure, they might not charge you, but you think they won't refer it to the feds? Of course they will. I'm proud of being white. I'm proud where my great grandpa lived 150 years ago. Yeah, what a thing to be proud of. Like it's an accomplishment. He's proud that he just happened to have been born white. Is Dominic Stevie Kria's son? Yes. Yes, he is. Chris Mo, a rat, a neo-Nazi, and a chomo, and an internet troll. What the fuck? A real salt of the earth gentleman. LMAO. How ironic. He exposed himself, not anyone else. I know I called the frog. I know he does. It wasn't struck. But like I said, it's okay to believe that. That's fine. If it was struck, I wouldn't be on here tonight. I'd have a week suspension. HIPAA does apply to nobody's medical records. Wait a minute. HIPAA does apply to nobody's medical records can be shared. Even at the methadone clinic, they can't say our names. We have numbers. I don't understand that comment. HIPAA does apply to nobody's medical records can be shared. Do you mean HIPAA doesn't apply to nobody's medical records can be shared? If you're not a medical professional, you are not obligated to keep anything a secret. That's like saying that if a friend of mine told me today that he has certain mental illnesses, and then I get pissed off at him and I tell people in our circle of friends about those mental illnesses, I'm going to fucking jail. Now, first of all, it's civilly liable, not criminally liable. Okay. And it doesn't apply to individuals, to non-medical professionals. It doesn't. As far as I know. Casey, yet one way a felon can have body armor is one, if he needs it for employment, or two, if he's a CI. Yes, this is true. Jane Creek, I just remembered that in one video, he was telling one of the white supremacists that he didn't have a crew back home. There might not have been anyone to snitch on in his area. Well, yeah, but I mean, this is a guy who's born and raised in that area. His whole identity is there. He's not leaving there. It's the only place a guy like him is ever going to have friends. It's the friends that he grew up with. You know what I mean? So why would he tell on people from that area? He just wouldn't. He would just say, I'm not. You remember Alpo and Paid in Full? Oh, he's Rico and Paid in Full. Remember when he said at the end, I'm not snitching on anybody from Harlem. I'll give you some cats from DC and whatever. But because when I come home, I'm still going to be the man. Yeah, you think deals like that aren't cut all the fucking time? People are going to go miles out of their way not to be known as a rat in their own fucking neighborhood. So I called the frog. FPS put it on private. We just saw it. Yeah, I dropped the link in Jesse's chat. But, I'm fed up. You know what I'm saying? I had 100 and, I don't know, probably about the same amount as I have now. I made fucking pennies. It's like, come on, guys. What the fuck, man? All you guys would be watching something else if you weren't watching me right now. And that something else would be costing you money, whether it's cable, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, something. So what the fuck? How fucking hard is it? Jesus Christ, a bunch of deadbeats. Oh, good. I want to hear it, bro. I hope I get the chance to. No. He has two. I think Steven Jr. and Dominic. He didn't even get probation. That's what's crazy. I've been on probation and violated for misdemeanors. It doesn't make sense. Nah, man. Can a nonviolent felon obtain a gun license in Rhode Island? No felon can obtain a gun license. Well, I don't know about a gun license. Like here, you don't need a license. You could either own one or you can't. I don't know about Rhode Island. But no, if you're a felon, it's against federal law and it's against every state law. Every state that I know of. The only one that might be an exception is Texas. That's because they're like their own fucking country, But they still, federal law still applies. No, you just can't own a gun if you're a felon, period. My first felony was for selling marijuana to a confidential informant. I was set up by the Drug Task Force, okay? And that was it. I was 19 years old, 20 when I got the conviction. I even went to a gun shop after I caught the case and I asked. And the guy said, don't even bother. If you have the charge pending, there's no way you can get a gun. I said, oh, all right. And that was it. That was the last time I ever tried. Yes, exactly, Nico Sia, without a doubt. Pizza keeps saying you were struck. Yeah, I know, Rick. Let him believe it. It's all right. Why not? He never wins one. Let him win one. Pizza, you believe this shit, bro? I got struck. My channel is coming down any minute. Permanently. How am I going to break the news to Shanna? Guys, donate because this is the last live stream I'll ever be able to do. I have to move it over to the Recovery Tube channel now. I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything. What the fuck is happening, guys? What? Richard Nixon, thank you for the $2. He blamed women for both the juvenile and gun case. Did he? Yeah. He said an angry ex-girlfriend that he wouldn't marry or something sent in a tip. That ain't the story either, right? You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'll tell you what it is. He's an asshole who, as a felon, and trust me, nobody has more pictures of it than me. Nobody has gotten to as much of his social media till this day than I have. To this day, nobody. I have hundreds of pictures of him with guns. Okay? And somebody told on him. It didn't have to be an ex-girlfriend. Could have been any fucking buddy. You know what I mean? Could have been anybody. It could just be local law enforcement. I mean, one thing I do believe is that they're not fans of his because of who his family was. Okay? Which is another reason why why they would know him so well. You got to realize the charges he got in the 90s are from the same goddamn jurisdiction, the same police department that helped raid his home in 2015. See what I'm saying? If you don't, let me spell it out. They would already be aware he's a felon. It's a small area. It is a small area. Okay? It's just like nobody really knows me here, but if I caught my felonies in this stupid little town, you could bet your ass every cop within 20 fucking miles would know that I am a convicted felon. And they also might, if they're watching me, check out my social media from time to time. And then if they see me with a bunch of guns, that's it. That's why I don't fuck around, guys. I will not post a picture with a super soaker. I know too many fucking people, rappers and everything else that have gotten caught up putting guns on their fucking social media. I won't even play the fucking game. I won't even, like John A-Light one day was holding like a prop. I wouldn't even do that. There's no fucking way that I would even hold anything that looks like a gun in a picture just because I know how shit works. FBS is going to heaven, did a good deed today for pizza. Yeah, pizza. You know what? I'm sure you're streaming the show right now. I got struck. I'm not going to lie. I lied about putting a link in Jesse Roth's chat and all that stuff. Nobody saw the show. I got struck, bro. It's fucked up, right? 2 more strikes and I'm out permanently. It's the end. In the words of Tony Soprano when he's talking to Tony Soprano when he's talking to Pussy as a fish on the boardwalk. Fuck of a way for it all to end, huh? Let's see. I see some of you guys explaining the case to other people. Felons are not to be permitted to have firearms in their possession. So private sale or through an FFL, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. No, Rudolph Sciarra died in 2012, several years before his 2015 case. So was Argenti, long deceased. Well, maybe they're referring to his 2011 case. His first gun case in 2011. Apparently, he had 6 guns. I don't know. I'm not sure, Common Sense. Good to see you, by the way. No problem. No problem. That's me. I'm always behind in any chat I go into. I just don't have, like, I'm always being bothered, so I can't just watch the show straight through. FBI would be valuable as a CI. FBI would be valuable as a CI for he online fringe friend not know. What the fuck does that say, Nicosia? How dare you? Correct, Chris. Medical professionals cannot share records, but a private discussion, a private, you mean person probably discussing someone's records are not subject to HIPAA. No, of course fucking not. No. I know all about HIPAA. My wife's a fucking nurse. You know what I mean? If one of my enemies, if I found out he had certain mental illnesses, I have no qualms about coming on here and telling you all about them. And I'd have no fear of anything happening because nothing would. You know what I mean? Nothing would. If he bought the gun from a federally licensed dealer, then they would have to run a check by the NCIS. Yeah. Nico IR on Facebook. Casperosa gave a name of a guy who he said MRE made an introduction to an undercover FBI agent posing as an illegal alien. Oh, I'm sorry. What? An illegal gun seller. And the guy got 56 months Fed time. I don't know if I know about that one. Is that the John guy? I don't know. Usually I ask him about these things. Common sense. Not only did his felony conviction bar him from owning a firearm, he had domestic assault charges on his record, and misdemeanors by definition in Rhode Island bar him from possessing firearms for his misdemeanor record. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Chris Archella. I remember until, what was it? I want to say the late 90s or something. I think felons could still own rifles and shotguns. I think. I could be wrong. Because I remember I was just going to get one of those when I knew I couldn't get a pistol legally. Not like I ever really needed them legally. I had enough illegally. But that was a long time ago. Yeah, now nothing. Yeah, you can't get anything, you know. You got to be crazy if you have a gun to even go buy a box of ammo or something. You know what I mean? Or anything. It's just not worth it, you know. There's an assortment of other weapons you can use to defend yourself. Common sense, this asshole even had the balls to try and say the police committed a felony by returning a bulletproof vest to a convicted felon, which is against the law, LMAO, and people still believe is BS. I know. Well, I don't know if they believe it or if they're too invested to admit the truth, so they want to convince us that they believe his bullshit. I don't really know. And quite honestly, I don't really care either. But, you know, when it comes to MRE, some people are too invested in him to admit certain things, i.e. Angel, you know? So that's all I'm saying. It's crazy. It doesn't matter if he bought them legally as a felon. The judge warned you that you're not allowed to possess any firearm. Oh, yeah. I remember when I got out of jail on my first felony, I had to go see my probation officer. And the first thing he did was give me a list of shit that I can't do any fucking more. You know what I mean? For real. For real. And of course, owning a firearm is on the top of that list. You know, I love when people say, though, like I heard somebody on here on MobTube the other day say that they can't vote because they're a felon. That's not true. I think it's true in certain states. Like, I even think Florida might be one of them where you can't vote as a felon. I'm not sure. But that's a myth, that whole you can't vote thing. It depends on where you are, of course. But like here in PA, as long as you have completed your sentence, meaning you're out of jail and you're no longer on any type of probation or parole or a supervised release or anything, you can vote. But you know, when I got my first felony, he told me I couldn't vote, but I think he might have just meant during my period of probation. I'm not sure. He also forgets to mention the explosives and prescription narcotics he got caught with during the 2015 case. So how come he doesn't explain that? It's pretty simple because he is a CI, enough said. Yeah, yep. Good way to sum it up. Merlino did a whole show talking about how many undercover CIs are on the street and the difference between a CI and a CW or a CS. Oh, my God. Which CW cooperating witnesses like Panisi, Pasqua, Gravano, etc., testified in trial. Yeah, there are differences. That's why those guys' cases are on Pacer and his isn't, because he is a CI and he didn't take the stand. He introduced federal agents to his neo-Nazi buddies to set them up purchasing guns so he can then lie. Yes. That's what happened. That's all. You know? Also true, common sense. Mind someone else's business. Hello. FBS, please don't perpetuate lies of not being struck in my chat room. I'm sorry, Jesse. I hated to use you for something like that, but I just didn't want Tony Pizza to get the satisfaction. But it's true, guys. I was struck, man. Right in the heart. They got me. And now I'm fucked. FBS is going bye-bye, people. No more YouTube for me. I don't know what I did to get struck, but apparently I got struck. The government doesn't have to reveal their informants' identities if the cases don't go to trial. Yep, also true. FBS, if you remember the day I went on Want to Talk show, on Want to Talk show Angel came on and thought she... wait a minute. Let me try it again. FBS, I don't know if you remember, but when I went on Want to Talk podcast and Angel came on and she thought she had an aha moment asking why Hunter Biden got indicted for lying on a gun for him. So why did an MRE? Well, she answered her own question, right? I mean, exactly. Why didn't he? But I didn't even know you were on I Want to Talk podcast. If I understood that comment correctly, I think that's the point you're trying to make. But I didn't even know about that. I don't watch that dude at all. LOL, I hate when we delete a comment and rewrite it. It doesn't go away for the content creator. Yeah, it sucks, man. I wish it did. The guy who was arrested by the feds' name is Joseph Minor from Queens. Yeah, I know. I know all about him. I've known about him for a long time. Many of us have, like Common Sense and other people. Yeah, I know. And there you go. Who did I rat on? Him. So the answer is simple because he never filled out any gun forms. He bought them off the. Oh, that's what you meant. Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. There's no question. There's no dealer that's going to sell. Especially again, guys, it's a small community. Now, I don't know if he bought the guns in that community or if that's his story, but they would most likely know who he is. Nobody's going to risk their asses and their whole business and everything selling guns to somebody they know is a felon, or even if they don't know the person's a felon, selling guns to somebody who without doing a background check on them. It's absurd. He didn't buy those guns. I said that from the beginning. He did not buy those guns from a gun shop. And leave it to Angel to always use some sort of politics, to compare something. Like, what did I say she said earlier? Oh, about white nationalists and Donald Trump being one. That's the first person that comes to your mind? And then Hunter Biden. I mean, you're watching a little bit too much Fox News, Angel. Give it a break. You're listening too much to Angela, the Ho defendant. Malik Irvin, completely off topic, but I like the poster the Rocky poster right behind you. The lighting and setup in the background is so cool. Don't overdo it, though. Less is more. Let me tell you something, guys. At like 3:00 this morning, okay, I was playing my show back, which I rarely ever do. But for some reason, I don't know if I was looking for a certain part or if I just wanted to see how everything looked. And I noticed that just like everything else I've ever put up, the shit was crooked. And I told you why. This room is all fucked up. It is. The way they did this, her ex and stuff, it's all fucked up. Okay? The fucking ceilings, nothing's even. So it's impossible. Okay, and I saw that the paid in full poster seemed like it was leaning. Like, I fucking snapped, guys. I came down here around, because by the time I finally decided to come down and do something about it, it was about 4 a.m. I come down here. I fucking ripped the paid in full picture off the wall. Then I go over there. I ripped the Muhammad Ali picture off the wall. And in the process, I destroyed the frame. I broke it in like 3 places. Okay, and that was it. There's no way that could go up there. And I fucked around with the paid in full poster for a little while more, and I said, you know what? There's certain things I can't do as the maniac that I am, as the OCD person that I am. One of them is have a beard. I've given up on having a beard because I can't just have a beard like normal men would have a beard. It's got to be shaped up and it's got to be perfect. And I can get it perfect, but it takes up so much of my fucking time. Okay, and then if I fuck it up and I make this side a little too low, now I got to make this side match. And I'm talking about I'll be in the bathroom for an hour and a half working on a dumb fucking beard. So I've decided now I could do this. I could do a mustache and a goatee. No more beard. I've also come to the conclusion where I realize now no more pictures behind me. Nope, none. Can't do it. Can't do it anymore. I've had it. I've learned my fucking lesson. I'm too insane. I'm worried about all this shit, and 95% of MobTube does their show from behind an avatar. You know how much easier my life would be if I just did a fucking show like this? And I don't know why my picture isn't up there. I'm really not sure. But if I just did a show like this, I could do it while I'm taking a shit. I could do it from the shower. I could do it while I'm laying in bed. I could do it in the car. I could do it at a bar. I could do it in a coat. I could do it on a boat. I could do it. You get my point. I could do it any fucking where. But no, not me. No. I got to be all professional and shit. Spend a fuck ton of money Sorry. And try picture after picture and decoration after decoration and camera angle after camera angle to try to get this to look right. And this just ain't the room for it. It's another reason we have to move. I went back upstairs at 4 something. Shanna woke up for a second. I said, baby, I got another reason we have to leave this fucking house because I'm going to lose my shit. This is the only space I have in this house to do this show. And it's the worst space in the fucking house. So no more pictures. No more. It's over. I fucking had it. And of course, now I ran into another issue because in order to make it look like this, I had to put for the Logitech camera some software on here that allows me to zoom in and zoom out. So I'm zoomed in on right now, so you don't see the whole back wall and everything else. Well, that's another setting that my computer has chosen to forget every time I turn it off. So on my first show today, I had it all worked out perfect because you're still going to make sure it's even to some extent on either side and everything. And it was all perfect. And I was like, that's it. I even got a tripod. You notice something? Watch this. I'm rocking the table right now. You know why you're not seeing it? Camera's on a tripod behind the laptop now. Yep. Only took me almost 3 years to figure that one out. Okay. Before you'd see every time I touched the table, you'd see the fucking camera wobbling because it was on top of the laptop. Okay. I was all happy. I said, I'll never have to touch it again. This is it. This is my background. Done. Then I went back on to do a show tonight, and it looked so fucked up. I need help. But I did figure out how to save my microphone settings, so that shouldn't happen anymore. I just had to change it in my computer, not StreamYard, to the Rodecaster Pro as a default. So I restarted my computer today, and yes, it went right to Rodecaster. You wonder why I asked for fucking donations. You see what I mean? The aggravation. You think it's just the shit I got to deal with on MobTube from other content creators and shit? No. It's my own fucking head. It's my own head. It drives me crazy trying to do this shit the way I want to do it. Sorry if I snapped out a little bit. No, FBS don't have a crossbow. FBS don't have nothing. Nothing. FBS don't have shit. I don't have a butter knife. I don't have nothing. No thing. I got rusty. That's what I got. Common sense. Obviously, the answer is always simple to anyone with common sense who can think rationally. Occam's razor equals the answer is always the easiest explanation. Some people's ego won't allow them to admit it. Yes, of course. Very true common sense. You can't vote for local politicians, but you can vote for president. Most states have same laws, or you may not be able if you're incarcerated or on probation, etc. I don't know. I feel like I can vote for local politicians, but I don't do it often. I don't even know who these people are. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know how that works. But I'm pretty sure we could vote for anybody here as long as our sentence is complete. Long before we even got his paperwork or discovery, both myself and FBS said we guarantee that eventually we will find out he cooperated against his neo-Nazi buddies, and it took a while, but now we do. Yes, very true. Once you are off paper in any state, you can regain your voting privileges, but you have to file paperwork. They don't just reinstate them unless you apply, and I think only murderers or chomos can't. See, here, as far as I know, you don't have to fill out shit. But this is Pennsylvania. You know, I don't know about other places. I don't know. When I was in jail in 2016, they were allowing people to vote in the presidential election if they were in jail for bullshit like child support or driving without a license. You know what I mean? They were actually allowing people from jail to vote. But if you're a felon or something, like if you're in there for a criminal charge, you can't vote. It's got to be, your sentence has to be complete. Flamethrowers are not firearms, FBS. FBS may be able to get one in PA for, snow removal for the driveway. Is that right? I'll look into it, but I probably won't even chance that. Because in this fucking county, even if it's not illegal, it'll be illegal for me. I'll believe that. They'll make a new law. Oh, Lodrego has butter knives? Butter knives illegal for Lodrego. Arrest them. It's absurd. But I don't complain and bitch and moan like certain mob guys and stuff. You know why? It was my choice to be a criminal. It was my choice to hang around the worst of the worst, and as long as I'm here, I got to pay for that. That's my reputation. So you won't hear me bitching and moaning like all these people who claim they're persecuted. Nope. I'm not liked by the judges and the DAs and the cops because I was a career criminal here. That's just the way it is, Simple as that. So basically, MRE got away with doing something that even the son of the president of the United States did. And I guess MRE is more beloved by the deep state. Yeah, apparently. Gene Creek, dude. Yeah, apparently. Oh, God. Funny stuff. Joseph Miner and another individual were MRE's associates who attended Hitler's birthday party that the KKK cop and other who went on Angel's show attended, and thanked MRE for his work/activism shortly after. Joseph and another man were set up after being introduced to undercover Fed, selling them various firearms thanks to that neo-Nazi rat diddler. There you go. Thank you, Common, because I don't remember all this shit, and you probably still know shit I don't know. No donations, huh? 176 fucking people. An hour and 46 minutes in, almost midnight. Nothing? All right. Let me get through here so I can end this fucking show. Good, I'm through here. I think there's one other Commonwealth. Wait a minute. Penn, Mass, and Virginia are called Commonwealth states. It's not. It's Kentucky too, I believe. What are the Commonwealth states? Kentucky, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Yeah. Penn, Mass, and Virginia are called Commonwealth states, which have laws that are highly favorable to people at the local level and favorable for civil rights, etc. So Penn may be different than Connecticut, where I am. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Commonwealth shit. Yeah. I think there's one other Commonwealth. Here you go, Kentucky. Yeah, you had it. Yep, Kentucky or Tennessee. Yeah, Kentucky. But some people take it too far. Like when you're in the county here, and I'm sure it's the same way upstate and shit. It's like, shit, it's a Commonwealth. You're fucked out here. Like, no. That doesn't mean the whole fucking state is Commonwealth is different from all the other states. Like the certain laws don't apply and certain laws do apply here that don't apply in other places. The only true Commonwealth, look it up, is Puerto Rico. Okay, as far as the U.S. and United States territory is Puerto Rico. Look it up, you'll see. But like jailhouse lawyers and shit, no matter what you say, they'll be like, shit, it's a Commonwealth. So you already know what it is. Yeah, it's another word instead of state that they use. That's the only thing that makes it different. Instead of calling it the state of Pennsylvania, they call it the Commonwealth. Except for like things like common sense might be talking about. But I'm talking about like, criminal law and shit. Oh my God. Thomas Sheehy, $50 fucking. Leave the show up, please. I got here late. Thomas. You don't have to keep doing that. I love you, and I appreciate every time, but I feel terrible. You believe this? Thomas Sheehy donates almost every night because so many of you don't. Fucked up. Thank you, Tom. I ain't taking this show down. You know what I mean? I at least got something from some people. The first show, though, that kind of shit from now on, fuck it. And I've done that before, and I'll do it again. What's the point? It's like I just entertained 200 people for nothing. Let me entertain another 2,000 for nothing, too. That's it, guys. Thank you for everything. Don't worry, Tom. videos staying up. I love you all. And until next time, salute.